Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today it's time for another edition of Celtic Transfer Talk. They're flying in thick and fast. With how much substance and how much truth to it, I don't know. But it's nice to talk about speculation anyway. So today we're going to talk about the next player who's been linked with Celtic heading into the summer transfer window. And it's a centre back this time round. And one that looks quite exciting at that. Hello, like and subscribe if you haven't already. It would be much appreciated. Celtic Transfer Talk. The season of transfers is well and truly upon us. There's going to be plenty of these rolling out throughout the summer, I would imagine, as we get linked with every Tom, Dick and Harry under the sun. Now, let's just get one wee disclaimer and something out the way right off the bat of this video, which kind of contradicts the purpose in making this video. But Ange Postecoglou did in fact speak about transfer links at his last press conference, the press conference before the Rangers game, if I remember correctly. And he was asked about those links with the three players we spoke about last week, and in that he basically said there was nothing. There's no point in reading into it. It's nonsense. Yeah, basically that. But Ange has been kind of like that since he's arrived at Celtic, hasn't he? No matter what's happened with us transfer-wise or who we've been linked with, he has really kept his cards close to his chest. He has tried to throw a few bluffs in there, and really we've just had to wait until things are official to sit down and say, yeah, we've got it done, or he's here. But what I will say is, alongside that is, we may as well look at the players we're getting linked with anyway. We'll have a bit of a laugh about it, a bit of a chat about it, and it might give us a bit of an indication as to what to expect position-wise anyway as we head into the summer transfer window. So on that note, Celtic have been linked with a centre-back, a position which I think some people do want to see someone come in, and it's one that could raise a little bit of excitement amongst us Celtic supporters. So Sky Sports reported yesterday that Celtic have been linked with Xavier Bayamba. I think that's the pronunciation. It's my best attempt to say anyway. Silent M at the start. I hope Xavier Bayamba has been linked with Celtic, and since that article was published by Sky Sports as well, the player himself has actually commented on transfer speculation and his chances of a move this summer. So since then, there has been development. We're going to talk all about it in this video, but let's have a look at what Sky Sports said first. So Sky Sports put this on their website yesterday that Celtic and Watford are among the clubs looking into signing Netherlands youth centre-back Xavier Bayamba, who was released by Chelsea's academy just last year. The 21-year-old has widely been compared to Virgil van Dijk by coaches and media in Holland due to his similar playing style and huge potential, and he has shone for FC Volendam in the Eredivisie this season. Ajax and AZ Alkmaar are therefore also interested in signing the Dutch youth international, who has represented his country at under-19s level and is expected to feature soon for the under-21s. It then goes on a little bit to talk about his youth career thus far, spending time at both Chelsea and Barcelona, and then finishes off with saying he's played every game this season except for one due to suspension, scoring 5 goals, and many top clubs have continued to track him due to his Barcelona and Chelsea pedigree, including Scottish champions Celtic. So there you go, that's what Sky Sports reported yesterday on their website. And we'll talk a bit about the player now, I suppose. As soon as you start hearing comparisons with Virgil van Dijk, you start to get a wee bit of interest and start to get a wee bit excited, because I would welcome Virgil van Dijk, or any form of Virgil van Dijk, right back into the Celtic team with open arms. One of the best centre-halves we've seen play for our side, not only in recent years, but ever. He's went on to be the best centre-half on the planet, and we've seen that potential while he played for Celtic. He was that good. He might have played for us at a time where the league was a bit, on its knees, if you like, but you could see the potential in that player, that he was going to go on to be one of the best. And if you're getting someone who's been compared to Virgil van Dijk, I am a fan of that, so I wouldn't knock it back right now. But talking about him himself, 26 appearances in the Eredivisie this season for Xavier Muyamba, scoring 5 goals. And I think that's one thing that I would like in a centre-back to join us this season, is goals. Now, we have had a couple chipped in from Carter Vickers and Starfield here and there, and Jens when he was here as well. But I want a centre-half that when the ball comes in the box for a corner, you've got a chance. You know, I've always been, and I don't rate him too highly, right? I've always been quite harsh on him. But Connor Goldson does my tits in. Because why? Because he can get on the top of anything, because he's tall, because he can head the ball and he gets a lot of goals because he's that tall. And I've always wanted someone like that on our side with a lot more defensive quality. Could Muyamba be someone like that? 6'4". He's a big boy. And I love the prospect of a goal-scoring centre-half, great from set pieces, 6'4", that physical presence. You get the advantages of that both going forward and defensively. I think that having someone like him beside a Cameron Carter-Vickers could be the perfect partnership, because you look at Vickers and Starfelt, who have both been phenomenal. The one thing they lack as centre-halves is the height. They've got the physicality, don't get me wrong, and they do a fantastic job of defending and using their bodies in whatever way they can. But the one thing they are lacking is maybe those extra inches that defenders like Muyamba have to their advantage. So I would love someone to play on a kind of rotation basis, maybe with Starfelt or Carter Vickers or whatever. I think having that is just a different centre-half from what we have right now, and it could be of great use to us. Let's talk about his youth career a little bit. He has played for 2 of the biggest clubs in European football, Chelsea and Barcelona. Obviously, they've not went the direction or the way that he would have wanted them to. You know, he's left both sides and he's now in the Eredivisie. But you get there for a reason. You show that potential and that talent for a reason. And now he's showing it at a top level in a top league in Europe. You know, it's not like he's been released with Chelsea and he's went on to do nothing or play in League 2 of England. And yeah, he's went to play in the Eredivisie. He's had a great season. He's been a standout and a constant in the back line for one of the lesser sides in that league as well, remember. And he's done really, really well. And when you have that pedigree behind you, as mentioned by the Sky Sports article, it is going to keep a little bit of interest in you from clubs around Europe. So I look at the competition from the likes of Ajax, Alkmaar, and obviously Watford as well. And I look at us in a position right now where we could bring him to Celtic. We are going to be the ones with an advantage. Ajax aren't currently champions of Holland. I don't know what their European football situation currently looks like, but they aren't the Feyenoord Champions League pot 1 side. Watford are in the Championship in England. And AZ Alkmaar, who have been very impressive this season, once again, aren't in the position Celtic are in, where they're guaranteed that Champions League group stage football. So, I'm just saying, we have a very good place in this right now. And if the interest is genuine, then I think Celtic could be in a really good position to land this signing. The player himself has spoken. He has given his opinion to the speculation and whether or not he is looking for a move this summer transfer window. And this is where you've got to start reserving your excitement a little bit, because he's not entirely convinced that this summer is the time to strike that move. This is his comments that he gave to the media when asked about the interest. He said, "There will be interest, but the main question is whether a move is right for me. If not, then I will stay. I've said that I will stay with FC Volendam for a maximum of 2 years, and this is the first season. This was my first year in men's football. I played in everything, showed that I can perform well, and I've stayed fit. That's great. I can't complain about my performances." So he has spoke about his agent, and he has spoke about the potential of a move. He says he'll see what happens. They're going to discuss it, and he's looking for that right move, but not to be selfish and not to put us on a pedestal here. I think if you are looking for the right move, Celtic is the right move. I think it allows him a great platform to come up and maybe prove those Van Dijk comparisons, play in European football, win trophies, and use it if he wants to as that stepping stone to English football, because ultimately that's what these moves are, aren't they? And I know people don't like it, but it is the case. He's very happy with the season he's had. He has got 1 year left on that Volendam contract. So, you know, there's advantages to this for Celtic as well. Volendam obviously in a position right now where they know they've only got 1 more year out of him and any plans to be off. Which means there's only 1 year left on that contract of his as well. Transfermarkt have him valued in around £1.5 million. And if there's only 1 year left in his deal, it could be one that's quite cheap to pick up on as well. Because they either keep a hold of him and lose him for nothing at the end of next season, or they try and bank on maybe £1 million just now. So Celtic, once again, in a good position here if they have identified this guy as the one. If they think Buyamba is going to be the guy to come in and be the partner to Carter Vickers or whatever, we need to strike now. But obviously, that's if he is the guy, if Ange is convinced he's the guy, and we've picked him out as that guy. Finally, just one talking point to end it off. There has been a lot of criticism of Kobayashi since that derby, which I've not been a huge fan of because I think it's very knee-jerk and I think it's very harsh. But we are in a point right now where I think a lot of us, and I'm not on that Kobayashi criticism bandwagon, absolutely not. But what I will say is I don't think it would hurt to have another option. And this is a guy who's played for Barcelona, Chelsea youth systems. He's been playing in the Holland youth setup at the under-18s level, soon to be under-21s level. I think that this is somebody who does carry a little bit there that could be of use to Celtic, so I wouldn't mind strengthening in that position. So if I'll always be happy to hear this news. We'll wait and see where it goes. But yeah, Xavier Buyamba, could he be the next Van Dijk and the next Celtic centre-half? Right, that's it. Like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We'll hopefully be back tomorrow, but from now, that is me. See you next time.